Tanis lost her beloved axe and slash to those Shyla and Shania pieces of trash. So the Hicks agreed to drive out to the native Rez's cookout where they and the degens did clash.
It's Thirsty Thursday, and that means we're once again hanging out at the produce stand, a podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show Letterkenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one is 100% moisture-free. I'm Al. See, that's a kind of reaction I want for all of those. Come on.
Years of marriage and she's still laughing.
I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room, as always, is the lovely, very lovely Tanya.
Oh, I got very lovely.
And online, we have Squirrely Matt and the valuable Victor.
Ew.
All right.
How are you now?
How was your week? Let's. Today's lineup is going to be Victor, Matt, Tanya, and Al. So, Victor, how was your week?
Yeah, week's good. Lynn and I have been watching a new show. It's not a new show, but it's a current show that I think started 2 years ago, and it's really good. And at first, we didn't know what to think. And the opening to the show, the credits. Or the opening credits. I feel like it's the longest opening that you'll ever encounter in your entire life.
Okay.
So
a riddle.
Yeah. So the show is, drum roll, Succession. And yes, it's an HBO show, and there's 2 seasons, and there's a third one coming. And so we're just into the second right now, and just really, really good. We just want to keep watching it. It's each episode is like an hour long, so it's a bit of an investment. But you may not know you kind of know what to think when you get started, but kind of stick with it. And your buddy, what's his name from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? The friend
Matthew Broderick. Oh, the other guy.
No, the other guy. Yeah,
Guy plays Cameron.
Yeah, and Sledgehammer is in this one as well.
How old's the show? Yeah. Is this an old show or something?
It's from 2018, season 1, 2019, season 2, and season 3 is coming.
And is it a comedy?
So, it's not a comedy. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not really. It's not meant to be. It's a comedy, but it's based on a really rich mogul family that owns all kinds of companies, and they're kind of giant media company. And it's just a weird ass family, and kind of all the trials, tribulations, and Succession is based on, who's going to take over the business. But so it doesn't sound so interesting or exciting, but it's just such interesting. Oh, and Macaulay Culkin's brother is in it as well.
Oh, he's a good actor. Kieran, is it Kieran?
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, it's very interesting selection of actors and actresses, and it's a really good show.
He's great in Scott Pilgrim. All right, Matt, how's your week?
Nice, Scott Pilgrim. I like that reference.
Yeah,
a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
I got a puppers.
Yes, congratulations, Yay! Moose. Welcome, Moose.
Moose. He's. I'm obsessed with this thing already. I'm not even kidding. It's not even 8 weeks old. Like it's super young. I feel like they gave it to us too young, but he is awesome. And I know I shared a picture on the internets, and it's been fun. So I'm gonna knock on wood as I'm saying this. He's pretty epic already. He's learning quick. He's already asking for the door when he needs to go outside.
Really?
He's already sitting on command.
Wow.
Are you sure he's 8 weeks?
No, he's not 8 weeks. It'll be 8 weeks on Saturday.
Wow.
Spoken like a true parent. My kid is advanced and smarter than any other kid.
Yeah. He gets these moments where he gets the zoomies and he's a complete asshole. But between those moments, there's brilliance there. And we still every day talk about Ollie and how much we miss our old puppers. That sucks. But he is such a delight to have around. And we're having so much fun with this new pup already. Getting no sleep, of course, because puppies are like babies. If you've never had one, they piss every 3 hours, basically like clockwork. So you were up through the night for the first little bit until you get them broken in. But I'm so optimistic, and it's so much fun. And he's he may actually join me later. So if you suddenly see a puppy get thrown into my lap, that's Moose. Just in case you're wondering who the puppy is.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a fun week. So I've been enjoying his presence for sure.
Awesome.
Great. Tanya,
congratulations.
how's
That's
your
awesome.
week?
Thank you.
The week for me, busy, work, kids are at home still, homeschool or not homeschool. Well, homeschooling. Yeah. Which way is it? I don't know.
We're not teaching them, but they are learning at home. Yes.
I feel like
Thank God.
I feel like I'm an EA to the teacher or something. Like every 5 minutes I get the, Mom, how do you spell this? Mom, how do you spell that? Mom, come and look at the, I think our daughter's 7 and she's so starved for social contact and just having that constant talking through the day because she's only in grade 2, so she has like a lot of things going on usually during a day. So it's been a hard balance to try to keep work consistent at the same time as doing grade 2 lessons, and I'm really good at my simple machines now. So questions, I'm ready. I'm ready for any questions.
Awesome. All right. Let's see my week. I was going to say uneventful, but no, it's actually very eventful. I've got some exciting news that I'm going to share at the end of this episode. That's pretty exciting. So what I'll talk about then is just the last show Victor recommended to us, Louder Milk. We just finished the final season of it, and so I mean, Victor, your streak is intact. It was an amazing show. We love it. We can't wait now for the next season. Hopefully there will be another season.
Yep.
Just
that's confirmed.
Great writing, solid acting, good story, and the story, lots of development in the story, so it doesn't stagnate. It's just really solid.
And I love too that they were like half-hour episodes. Mm-hmm. So we were like doing 3 or 4 a night.
Yeah. It was almost like me binging Letterkenny, but so good. solid recommendation. So we may give Succession then, based on that, we may give Succession a try because,
what else do we have to do?
Yeah. What else are we going to do?
Yeah. Make sure you're not watching it tired. It's a little more cerebral, but, and it is 60 minutes.
I don't know about thinking. If you have to think, I'm not sure.
I don't know about that.
Well, so this is embarrassing. You guys are all talking about what sounds like legitimate TV shows. We binge watched and finished The Boys, which was really awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
And then my wife and I looked at each other and we're like, neither of us want to think. We're not ready and mentally prepped to engage in another series that makes us think. So we've fallen back on her defaults, which is basically trash TV.
No.
And we got wound up in a season of Young and Pregnant on MTV.
Wow, come on, Matt.
I know.
That's too far.
Too
so
far.
Bad.
Too far. Do like
so
the
bad.
Hockey Wives or something, but not it's not going to happen.
But we've watched all the other trash over the time. So
okay, stop watching trash.
Like we binge watched My 600-Pound Life for like 3 months one time. It was terrible.
You know, Matt, what a show you should watch with your wife. It's kind of it's called Younger. There's like 6 seasons of it. It's about this girl that kind of pretends to be like young to get this job, and it's almost like Dexter, how Dexter controlled the whole universe.
Okay, but do I have to think like this is?
No, you don't have to think at all. It's something that's going to be nice for both of you. It's kind of it's more of a So it's just show. Enjoy it. Go watch it. You'll enjoy it.
All right, I'll check because every episode we get into this, we're like, are we ready? Because this is too much. And
no,
we're balancing out. Like I've heard Yellowstone's good, and I've heard some other things that we want. So I think we're a moment away from diving into an actual adult show again.
No, you need Younger. We'll watch that show. You'll thank me for it.
We got into 2 shows. There was the one with the chessboard. What was that one?
Oh, Queen's Gambit.
Gambit?
Yeah,
Queen's
that's
Gambit.
great.
That one was
I
amazing.
thought you were going to say Hunters because Hunters is
no.
That's a really good show. You got to watch it.
No.
And what was that other one with the Russian?
The
Russian
Oh
Queen?
yeah, Linda and I started watching that one, and she wasn't into it, so I haven't gone.
Oh, Russian Doll.
No,
not Russian Doll. That's a really good one. Like the Russian Tsar.
The Greats. Yeah, no, Victor, you're gonna love that one. You gotta watch that.
No, I liked it. Linda wasn't into it.
Really?
She was like, it's too much dominance of that guy's too much of an asshole, and she said, I get it that she's going to be powerful, but I just don't like. I don't like it. It's not nice. I don't want to watch this asshole anymore.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, she ended up coming out on top.
Yeah. Over and over and over.
Spoiler alert.
but that's you expect that, right? But it still doesn't. It's like watching Trump. He's a loser. He's going to lose. But as a man, not from a political point of view, it's from a
Man, doesn't the world feel a little less stupid this week?
From a humanist point of view.
I have had.
You have to be careful. Like, just from all the politics aside, right? Just even before he got into politics, he was a bit of a joke, right? But half the world liked him, and the other half kind of was laughing at him. And but so back, bringing it back.
Well done. All right. Speaking of support, which we weren't, but it's the segue I have written down here. Welcome to our new Twitter followers. Today we have 36 new Twitter followers. I have that speaking of support there because before this, I used to read the live read for Dennis Guggen's Funko Pop, but I haven't actually changed the text. So anyway, welcome to our new followers, starting with Daryl Yantha from Chatham, Ontario. They tell me this Daryl actually said Chatham is considered the Florida of Canada, so I'm not sure what exactly that means. I've never been there.
What?
Yeah, I've never been there. But
Chatham is just outside of Windsor.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Is this reference to the weather or like the Florida Man series of
Florida,
Reddit?
the quality of people, I believe, is
that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Is it like the snowbirds? Like
no, it has nothing to do with weather. It has to do with people. Anyway, Steph from Winter Wonderland, Eric Newsetzer from Baton Rouge, Trey Webb, Chris Galaxy Bean from Texas, The Dude from California, Joey Gidley from Steele, Alabama, Caveman 19 from Mobile, Alabama. Is it Mobile or Mobile? Yeah. Joseph Rodriguez Jr., Matt the Senator, maybe. Damn it, Jim from Dallas. Damn it, Jim. Morgan Gulch from Tullahoma, Tennessee. Don't worry, there's some Massachusetts coming up. The guys.
And you said it perfectly too.
I know. I won't. When I get to it, I won't. The Guys Review podcast. That's our buddy Stephen Walker. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Graham Danielson, Dr. Dog Dad, Tony Comis from Marshfield, Massachusetts.
See, when you're reading it, you can't do it.
No. Jeffrey Lerman, D-Lo from Winnipeg, Dennis Allen Stark from Toronto, Phyllis Hansen, B-Dubs 928, Barry Skidmore, Dan Cooney, Aaron from Sim Valley, Nonya Business, Tom Williams from North Central Massachusetts, Adam 117, really grinds my gears, Jared Rorick, Ian Anderson from South King County, Orange.
Wait, isn't Ian Anderson like the singer from Yes? Oh, no, or is that John Anderson?
I don't know. South King County. I looked it up. I think it's in Washington State. So I don't know. Laura Kane from Missouri, Stemps, John Bernardo, and Thomas Purvis from San Francisco. Thank you all for your follow and hopefully also for listening.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Last week, we recapped and reviewed episode 2 of season 4, A Fuss at the Golf Course. That episode got a fresh rating from all of us, making it the first unicorn since episode 3 of season 2, Relationships. According to our scientific Twitter poll, 90.5% of voters gave the episode a fresh rating and only 9.5% gave it a clearance. Nobody gave it a compost. So everyone agreed with us for the most part. Yeah, one degen maybe. This
Lonely
week,
Island.
Yeah, this week we recap and review episode 3 of season 4, A Way to a Man's Heart. Way to a Man's Heart. Have you done your homework, Victor?
I have done my homework.
Matt, have you done your homework?
I have done it twice.
Well, yeah. Now that you've got Crave, right, Mr. Fancy Pants there, Tanya, have you done your homework?
No. Of course I did.
Yeah, we did it last night. I did my homework, and at least one person on our Twitter DM group, Melbourne Jack, said he's done his homework. But I know that others are following along, so that's awesome. So we
should almost try an episode sometime out where we actually watch it together and the clips are the actual show, and then we just recap as we go. A live recap.
I feel like that might I don't know, get us in trouble, or I don't know, maybe not.
Unless you know how they do those reaction videos where you don't actually see the video, you just see the person's face reacting to the video.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if our listeners want to see that though. That would be
well, let's not break format, but maybe we can do that once we've done all, we've run out of episodes to review. We started our cold open. The Hicks are at the produce stand after a day of doing hay. Squirrely Dan blows his nose on his sleeve. Katie gives him shit, but Wayne defends him. Well, how hard do you actually work if you're never blowing your nose on your shirt? Katie proceeds to berate Derry for removing his boots, but again, Wayne defends. Well, how hard do you actually work if you don't kick your boots off the second you're through? Derry says he doesn't want to get toenail fungus on account of it being moist in there.
That'll be the last time I hear that word coming out of your mouth.
What? Fungus?
No.
Marinate?
No.
Oh. Moist.
Don't tell that to the good folks in Moist Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Or the good folks in Mirror-Moisty, New Brunswick, where they love shucking moisters.
Don't forget about Moist Fist, Tennessee.
The Mississippi's a great river.
You ever been to Moisty Grok?
No, but I've been to the Rocky Moisten Range in the United States of Amoistica.
I will fight you.
What do you got against Moistro Fresh West?
Moist stuff. Modest Moist.
The Moisty Boston.
Paul Moist Cartney. That fucker wrote yesterday, Katie.
Gucci Moist. Meek Moist. Moisty Cyrus.
The Moist Fits. Dead Moist. Moist Alicas, Moisters of Puppets.
I will fucking fight you.
After a few more moist puns, Katie gets up from her lounger and empties her beer on the heads of the three male Hicks and says, "There you go. Now you're moist." And cue the music.
Oh, but wait, you hadn't. So Wayne says, "Don't pour it on his smoke."
Oh yeah. Before she.
So, and I loved that pause. That it was just like that.
I know what you're gonna do
to each other.
You better just not, get my smoke wet. Yeah.
Anyways,
there's a level of respect there.
There is.
Yes.
There is.
All right. Initial thoughts. It was a pretty short cold open, but Victor, what'd you think?
I thought it was great. It was short, so didn't drag on, certainly. And the other thing I liked about it is, so it was funny, but at the same time, they were starting to act a little bit stupid. And this time, Katie, instead of just warning them and leaving the room, she when they were acting like babies, this time she just did something about it. So that was awesome.
Okay, Matt.
Yeah, it was good. It definitely wasn't the funniest one, but I liked it. And this one, unlike a lot of other ones, actually sort of set the tone for the episode, because I do find a lot of cold opens aren't overly connected to the episode. Like there's something fun, they're a good laugh, but then move on. This one, and the whole way they use moist and ran with that, they carry that joke on. And then let's just talk about the word moist for a second. I don't care, but it is definitely one of those words that there are a ton of people who get very uncomfortable if you say it out loud.
So not one of your favorite bands from the 90s?
I was going to say,
I told you, it doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me either.
You need to put that up on a Twitter poll.
Yeah, it does. Maybe I'll do
moist.
Some kind of Twitter.
Actually,
make sure people understand if you're asking about the band or the word.
I don't think anybody will know think that I'm asking about the band. The majority of our followers are American, so they won't even probably know the band.
But it's just funny, that kind of like mentality people have with words like that, and they capture them so well. To me, the weirdest one for me and is the word uncomfortable.
Okay.
I actually find that, and it's a mental block for me. I find it one of the most uncomfortable words to say.
Oh, really?
Even if you're sitting on a couch and it's not comfortable,
but just the way, like comfortable, like it just doesn't sound right. I've read the word, I say it, I never feel like I'm saying it right. It just is a very uncomfortable word to say.
That's very, very meta.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't understand how people can have that kind of a reaction to a word. One of our coworkers, Emily, she once confided in me. Big mistake, that she hates the word. She hates when people use the word robust. So I use it every chance I get.
Robust?
Yeah.
Can I text that to her right now?
Yeah, go for it. She won't know.
I will too.
She just hates the word robust, and I'm like, so whenever she'd be teaching or whatever, or in class, and if I were in that class, I would make sure to use that word. Anyway. Okay, scene 1. Out in front of Modine's 2, a couple of native women, Shyla and Shania, played by Cara G and Ellen Jade, are selling cigarettes to kids when the leader of the degens shows up asking what they're doing.
What are you doing? I asked you first.
Not drinking at 11 a.m. How's that for an answer, you fucking degen?
Bitch.
That's queen, bitch, ugly. Who comes to the bar in their barn clothes, you fucking ogre? Yeah, tell Shrek we said hello. And try not to fuck his donkey. Cannibal's a compliment for you. Keep walking, critter.
Tough talk.
She can back it up, too. Try it.
I don't usually feel bad for the degens, but in this case, he was just asking what the hell they were doing selling cigarettes to kids, so I don't feel like he deserved it. No one agrees. Axe and Slash shoo the degen away, but Katie witnesses the entire scene.
You're selling cigarettes to kids?
Can I help you?
I have a feeling you're the ones who are going to need help.
Move along, skank.
You're not from around here, are you?
You deaf? Take a walk.
Yous are in deep shit.
Next scene at the gym, Riley and Jonesy are working out together, and Dax and Ron are doing their usual catcalling. Riley and Jonesy applaud Dax and Ron for their fine chirping skills and their temples, meaning their physiques. This confuses Dax and Ron.
But people aren't supposed to enjoy being catcalled.
Yeah, supposed to not enjoy being catcalled.
Yeah, okay, fuck, buddy. If anybody knows how hot we are, you're looking at them.
The lineup around the block for this pop-up shop.
Yeah, nobody's kicking this kid out of bed for eating crackers, that's for sure.
I've yet to see one customer not come back for seconds at that buffet.
Yeah, I bet you thought everybody skips the continental breakfast. Guess what? They don't.
Take this ride, you're getting right back in line, boys.
Dax says Riley and Jonesy aren't their type. Riley and Jonesy call bullshit. They can see Dax and Ron rocking semis. Ron answers that they're gay guys at the gym. They're always rocking semis. Riley and Jonesy ask, well, then what is their type? Dax and Ron say their types are otters, skinny, hairy dudes. So then Riley asks Dax and Ron what they're supposed to call them.
What are we supposed to call you then? Our gay buddies from the gym? Or?
We took gay in the expansion draft from you about 100 years back.
Butch?
Shout out to our sisters in the women's league.
Fruit?
Fruit had a cup of coffee in the show a few decades back, but never really produced for either of us.
Bear? You guys released Bear a while back for underperforming, and we got her at a friendly price. Been a real stud for us ever since.
Cub?
Cub's been consistent since we put her on a line with Bear.
Oofta? Still playing overseas. Likely gonna retire there.
Nelly?
Only your grandpa remembers that alumni.
Homo may be in your ring of honor, but never forget the body checks our goons threw down to end that career.
Queen produced the best arena music of all time, but still, it's only for some.
Before we move on, just a little production note. If you guys were watching with subtitles like Tanya and I were last night, when they mentioned Queen, the subtitle is actually wrong. In the subtitle, they say Creed. And then they go on to say Creed makes the best arena music or something like that, which is obviously wrong on so many levels. But it was kind of an interesting,
painful statement.
It was.
Maybe they didn't want to. Maybe they were scared to use the word queen for copyright reasons.
No, I don't know. I think it was just a mistake. It was either a mistake or a purposeful joke, because Creed is kind of a joke band.
Maybe it's a Creed fan that was doing the subtitles.
I don't know, but it's just weird.
That's just got to be a typo, because it's for the hearing impaired. It's not supposed to be. It's
Creed doesn't go with the joke, because they say, do we call you queens? And no, not queens.
No, you're right, but it's not a typo.
No, it's not a typo.
Is when you misspell a word. That's just a different word.
Completely different word. So it's just it's a strange quote unquote mistake for them to make, so which makes me think it was purposeful, and maybe playing a joke on anyone reading the subtitles.
Or they were using Siri to type for them.
I don't know.
There you go.
Anyway,
if it was a typo, you should be nowhere near a keyboard.
Exactly. Anyway, after going through all the slang terms for gay dudes, there was one left that neither Riley nor Jonesy wanted to say.
I'm not fucking saying it.
Fag? Not sure that's PC, but you said it. Fag got cut in the 80s and may have cleared waivers, but we all made a gentleman's agreement not to sign her because of behavior detrimental to the league.
Call me Dax.
Call me Ron.
Let's be buddies, Daxie.
Let's be buds, Ronzi.
Really?
Yeah, fuck. You guys slam crush butts, we slam crush box, and the world keeps on turning, boys.
They proceed to demonstrate to each other how they lay some skin or fist bump in a pretty funny scene. Then Riley says that it's time to break the news to Katie. Presumably they're going to break up with her or something. They look up and notice that Dax and Ron have moved on to catcalling someone else at the gym, Joint Boy and Tyson. Riley and Jonesy look disappointed that they're no longer the subjects of the catcalling. Joint Boy and Tyson just look confused.
So let's just call it out. I mean, the writing of that was just brilliant.
That's a note I made that I was going to talk about later, but we can talk about it now. It was so good.
It was so good, and obviously, if if hockey's not your world, maybe you don't appreciate it as much. But basically, the wordplay was all around, what happens with players, making it to the NHL and staying on the roster and this and that. Except they were using the various names.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was just brilliant. Just brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're not a hockey fan or whatever, the brilliance of that scene to me is more Riley and Jonesy are willing to learn, and they're being taught by Dax and Ron about what, how to talk, how to be with around gay guys, that they're obviously comfortable with it, but now is it, what do we call you? What should we call you? And so they go through that whole back and forth, and that was fun, like with the hockey metaphors. And then in the end, Dax and Ron just say, just call me Dax, just call me Ron. Like, you don't need to label us gay or straight. We're just buddies. And then, so I thought it was a really, really great scene to kind of show, look, this is all we have to do. Just don't be dicks to each other. No need to label anything. Be good, and you're fine.
And that's the genius of it all. It was so cleverly written.
Yeah.
But there was depth.
Yes.
It wasn't just about the wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
There was a message, and it wasn't a hidden message. It was very in your face.
Oh yeah, very overt. Yeah. If anything, Dax and Ron were in the wrong, thinking that they could go around catcalling people, and
exactly.
So
they flipped the whole script on the whole thing. It's
exactly,
great.
Yeah. So women don't hate being catcalled, but if you turn it around, maybe guys would enjoy being catcalled, and they show it that way. It was pretty good. What did you think?
I'll catcall you later.
But can I just add to the whole scene how great it was to see Riley and Jonesy back together?
Yeah.
And just doing what they do. That just made me happy.
Yeah, they need to have like the two of us or something, like some like romantic music happening while they're working out.
It should have ended with them in bed with their laptops again.
Yeah, exactly. Next scene, Tanis is at the produce stand explaining what's going on with the natives. She informs them that Shyla and Shania are two of the newest strays on the res. They stole Axe and Slash from Tanis. Katie tells the Hicks that the rogue natives are selling cigarettes to kids. Wayne doesn't seem to care. He says kids are shitheads, resilient ones. They would have found darts one way or another. Tanis takes exception. She says she earned the right to sell smokes in Letterkenny, and she never sold smokes to anyone under high school age. She even checked IDs. Then Katie added that they called her a skank, which is all Wayne needed to hear. And he says, game on. Tanis admits she really misses Axe and Slash. She's disappointed in them. Derry says they'll find them and beat the shit out of them. Wayne was starting to wonder when the next scrap might come. He was starting to think it was never going to come. Squirrely Dan doesn't think beating them up will bring Axe and Slash back to Tanis.
No, they need their asses kicked.
Fucking done.
Every woman knows the way to a man's heart ain't through a zipper.
Can confirm.
It's through his stomach.
Can confirm.
And there is a big cookout on the res today, and I am the cookout queen. Everyone comes my way, so if Axe and Slash don't come running, I'm a fucking chimp.
What are you cooking?
Yeah, what are you cooking?
Everything. Bison burgers, walleye nuggets, trout fillets, venison steaks, bannock, fried bread, and my famous Indian taco.
You're gonna have to roll me out of there, Tanis.
Yeah, they got forklifts on the res there, Tanis?
Well, she's bought and paid for. We cruise on in there, eat like kings, beat the shit out of those dudes, snatch up Axe and Slash, and away we go.
Tanis likes the plan, but not so much Wayne's choice of words.
Don't say that word.
What?
Oh,
Snatch.
You're going to bring up all those rich meats? Now you don't want to talk about snatcherated fats?
But you never have a cabbage snatch kid growing up?
But you never had a snatch and sniff sticker when you were a kid?
Everyone loves snatch and win bingo.
Fuck off.
What about that Robin Williams movie, Snatch Adams? That tugged at a few heartstrings.
My favorite part of The Simpsons was the Itchy and Snatchy show.
Would you never see Snatchural Born Killers?
Margaret Snatcher was the Prime Minister of Great Britain.
I wonder if she ever met Benedict Cumbersnatch. She's from over there too, right?
Who wrote that song, Snatch My Bitch Up?
Definitely not Snatchbox 20 or Snatching Pumpkins.
Katie informs Wayne that Shyla and Shania have a bunch of guys with them, so they might want to call in a favor. And at that moment, Riley and Jonesy pull up to the end of the laneway. Wayne reminds Riley and Jonesy about the time the Hicks backed them up on the res, so now it's payback time. Next scene at the dollar store parking lot, the Skids and Glenn continue their season-long face-off.
Tell me, preacher. If your God found himself in a comparable turf war contingency, what would Jesus do?
Jesus would advocate for empathy, acceptance, and grace. Jesus might advise you to take a whack at his way of life.
Very well, but fuck it. We will sample his style for the day. Oh, under the condition that you sample ours.
I don't know, Stuart. I'm hesitant.
What happened to for the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid.
2 Timothy 1:7. Oh, you are proving yourself exalted, Roll.
Glenn agrees to the terms, and Stuart suggests a wardrobe change. I think we have Moose in the room now.
We do. We do.
Look at him. He's a
Can you
cutie.
say hi? There he
That
is.
looks like a stuffed animal.
I know.
So this makes for bad podcasting, especially audio only. But anyway,
This is real. I know. It's true, right? Everyone listen to him breathe.
Cute dog. Everyone listen to people fawn over him. All right, next scene. At the cookout at the res, Tanis is at the barbecue while the Hicks and Riley and Jonesy look on, offering some unwelcome advice.
You're just gonna let this chicken sit uncovered, or
Put the grill up at 500. You want to turn that down a bit, or
Montreal steak spice would help that bison meat, so you're going to sprinkle some on there, or...
Sure, you want to put the fish and the veggies on at the same time there? Or?
You just want to stop questioning Auntie Tanis' cooking?
I just caught the Montreal steak spice thing.
Oh, yeah, there's a callback.
Yeah, despite Tanis's warning, Jonesy offers up one last bit of advice, asking Tanis if she's going to squirt a little marinade on that.
Don't say that word.
What, marinade?
No.
Oh, squirt. Well, fuck Tanis, you love Wu-Tang Clan, no love for old squirty bastards?
Squirt brigade. Katie, you love Odd Future. You got no love for Earl Sweat Skirt?
What about Rush drummer Neil Squirt? Or Squirtin' Cummins of the Guess Who's?
Squirt is Mayfield.
Squirt Cobain?
Too far.
Rosie loves reading Squirt Vonnegut literature.
Didn't you ever watch that show when you were a kid, Squirt and Ernie?
Katie was watching Squirty Dancing just yesterday. Okay, that's a lie. I was watching Squirty Dancing. It's a great movie.
I love that. Okay, that's a lie. I was watching it. And I love that Squirt Cobain was taking it too far.
Oh,
I thought it was just right.
Yeah. The Squirt Capade continues, but then is interrupted as Shyla and Shania arrive and set up their barbecue nearby. Next scene, at the dollar store parking lot, Glenn is dressed in skid attire, wearing the bowler hat, trying to teach the skids, who are all dressed like Glenn. It's a 3-step tutorial on preaching, beginning with step 1, guilt blasting, which involves berating the congregation about how sinful they are. Roald thinks it's kind of mean. Stuart's intrigued. Step 2 is guilt blasting through prayer.
So this one, you want to dig a little bit deeper, maybe crank everything up to 11. Something a little like this. See if you can follow. Oh, Lord! It's us again. Stinky little sinners, human sacks of garbage. Probably already halfway to hell. You know the drill, Lord. When everything's going bad, we come running. When everything's good, poof! We act like your grace is our birthright, which it is not. Oh, I'm sure you're tired. Lord, you must be exhausted. You already went ahead and died for our sins. Then you went and brought yourself back from the dead. I'm tired just thinking about it. So you rest for a bit, Lord. You rest. And we'll just keep doing what we do best, paving our own roads to hell. You know the drill. Amen.
Stuart finds all of this bewitching. Roald asks about step 3. Step 3 is a collection plate, which gets a wondrous from Stuart. Glenn's lesson is done, so now he asks for the skids what their 3 steps are. The 3 steps are: take this. Stuart hands Glenn a little baggie with white powder. Roald hands Glenn a speaker and tells him to press play, and then they dance. Scene 7, back at the cookout. Now it's Axe and Slash with the unsolicited barbecue advice for Shyla and Shania.
Are you need to do the bison medium well, or...
Sure you want that raw chicken so close to the veggies, or...
Shut up.
Tanis yells at them for the way they're talking to Axe and Slash. The two sides yell insults at each other. Axe and Slash try to defend their new leaders. Shania and Shyla tell Tanis that Axe and Slash are with them now. They don't need her. Tanis goes back at them. They can't handle their barbecue, let alone a scandal. She can see their clammy hands from where she is.
Do not say that word. I hate that word.
One.
Oh, clammy.
Let's just pump the brakes a quick fucking sec here, friends in Clamelia.
Let's get to the clam-eating potatoes of it.
What, you never listen to Clammy Davis Jr.? What's up?
Clammy Hagar's the superior Van Halen vocalist. I don't care what anyone else says.
Clammy Sosa used to hit them big dingers.
What, you never listen to Clammy Wynette? What's the problem?
Shut up!
Enough talking.
Enough chin wagging.
Which one of you's called my sister a skank?
Accent slash. Oh, wait, where are we? Oh, all hands point to Shania, who called her a skank. Wayne says to Katie, there's not much I can do about this one, kiddo. But Tanis says, that's all right, boo, I got her. Wayne is getting impatient, and he wants to start a scrap. Next scene, a musical montage of Glenn and the Skids at the dollar store parking lot. Stuart is on the stoop while Glenn coaches him on his preaching. The drugs seem to have kicked in. Now the dancing starts as Stuart rips pages from Glenn's Bible. Next scene, back at the cookout, Riley and Jonesy take advantage of a moment alone with Katie.
So, we were just wondering, like we're partners, kind of, and we work really well together. So, like, we were wondering
if I would date both of you again.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
The truth is, guys, I don't really want to date either of you. It's just not really the right time.
Oh.
No.
And now it's just you guys, so think of all the snipes. Big city slams. We'll snipe Sully, boys.
Dirty fucking dangles, boys!
It's got to be the happiest breakup in history. Over on the other side of the cookout, Shyla and Shania are having issues with a smoking barbecue. Tanis calls over to make fun of them. She warns Axe and Slash that they're not the only ones who've been with Shyla and Shania. They'd better watch out for that yeast.
Do not say that word. Which one, pussy? No.
Oh!
Yeast.
What, you never watched Beauty and the East growing up? You out of your fucking mind?
What, you never stayed up for the Easter Bunny?
Eastern Promises is a great movie.
Eastbound and Downs is a great show.
You look more suited to the witches of Yeastwick. Order EastEnders, done it.
Look, all we are saying is give yeast a chance.
Have you ever listened to the Yeasty Boys?
Ain't you ever been to Yeast Side Mario's?
This isn't yeast or famine.
And last but not yeast,
fuck off.
I love that last part.
You know, it's funny because I think I'm catching more of it. I think it maybe because I'm wearing headphones and we're doing it.
I said that last week.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Like I absolutely watched it. I watched it twice.
You guys made fun of me and told me to turn the volume up. It's not.
No, you're right.
Headphones.
If I made fun of you, I apologize. Because it's true. These jokes, when I'm hearing them back on this, it's like I'm catching things I didn't catch the first two times around. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a band out there called the Yeasty Boys.
Well, there's the one they're making fun of.
You know what, though?
Boys.
They missed an opportunity. When Wayne said give yeast a chance, they should have all chimed in at the same time.
All we are saying
is give yeast a chance. They should have all, yeah. I was kind of waiting for it.
Yeah, and then if they had
Production
done that,
notes.
you guys would have probably complained that they took it too far.
No, but I still like the fuck off one.
Yeah, I love that right at the end, the punctuation. And one last thing, fuck off. If you noticed, while they're doing all that, there's kids and moms in the background listening to all of this, which is hilarious.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. It's because it's a cookout, right? So it's like families there. So
yeah, you see a bunch of faces you don't see before in the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Scene 10, back at the dollar store, back to the musical montage. The drugs are now in high gear and the dancing has intensified. Cut to 2 hours later, the Skids are worn out. They're out of energy. Glenn's still dancing. Stuart asks Glenn if he has any drugs left. Glenn says, sure. He didn't take any.
What? How do you... The power of Christ compels me, Stuart. You fooled us. No, I tricked you, and trickery's not a sin. Also, I got you to give God a try for a day. Didn't kill you, did it?
No. As it turns out, God is actually pretty metal.
Well, of course he's metal. Ain't you never heard of POD?
We concede, Glenn.
Ooh.
You have electrified us here today.
Oh.
We agreed to cut the pie.
Divvy it up.
Yes, we can share the dollar store parking lot.
Hooray!
Now you're gonna want to be on your way now.
Next scene, back at the cookout. Axe and Slash aren't enjoying their barbecue. They say the chicken's too dry. It needs to be a bit more moist.
Oh, don't say that word.
What word?
Oh.
Moist.
What, just never watched Mickey and Minnie Moist growing up? You out of your fucking mind?
Ronald Moist Donald.
Seen my buddy Ben's on Moisture Chef's Candidates?
Nope, but I'm all caught up on how to moist a murder. Fuck, those Averys really put their foots in it now, eh?
My favorite show is America's Moist Wanted.
You gotta respect athleticisms. Connor Moist Gregor, Connor Moist David, Floyd Moist Weather. Why, they're all at the top of their classes.
Just then, a couple of pickups arrived, piled high with degens. Guys like Sled Ted, Radass, Jivin' fucking Pete. They've assembled the Degen All-Stars, led by the number one Degen, who we find out has a name. Alistair Orson Westwood Alistair Orson Westwood Yates.
Take two.
Played
Our
by
newest follower.
I know, right?
He must be from Massachusetts.
Must be. Awesome.
Yes, Victor.
That was a good one.
Tucci. Anyway, he's played by the very lucky Wayne St. George. I was trying to find. I feel like there's got to be some significance to his name. I kind of looked it up and down, and I can't figure it out. Like it's four names.
Alistair's it's the name that you hear 153 times at the end of Wonder Woman 1984.
What?
Alistair.
Was she having sex with him?
It's not that exciting of a movie.
No. I was going to say I have to watch this if that's the case. All right.
You might not make it to the end, or
anyway, the Degens are there to settle the score with Shyla and Shania. Axe and Slash look back at Tanis, pleading for help. At first, they're treated with tough love from Katie and Tanis, but Wayne's been wondering when the next scrap will start. Tanis asks him to wait. Axe and Slash run from Shyla and Shania back to Tanis, and they plead for her forgiveness.
We're so sorry, Auntie. We want to come back.
We miss you, Tanis. You took care of us.
We promise. We'll never get blinded by the pussy again.
We'll swear off the pussy for 2 weeks.
See what happened here today, ladies? The way to a man's heart ain't through a zipper.
Tanis?
Let's have a scrap.
About fucking time. I was starting to think it was never going to come.
The Hicks and natives charge at the charging Degens and have an epic battle. When the dust settles, the Degens are beat and the cookout resumes, with Axe and Slash enjoying Auntie Tanis's barbecue. All is good until one of them questions whether the chicken was too close to the veg on the barbecue.
I fucking hate that word.
What word?
Oh.
Veg. Let me talk you off the veg, big brother.
I guess we're not gonna veg allegiance to the flag then, eh?
Have a dart, have a Benson and veggies.
Well, you don't like Peter Gabriel, that fucker old veg hammer.
Stevie Nicks, veg of 17.
Stevie Nicks is fucking vegging ready.
Aerosmith, living on the veg.
Heath, vegger.
Legendary.
After a few more veg puns, Wayne gets up, shakes his beer, and proceeds to spray everyone with it. And they all follow suit and have a beer fight. And we fade to black. Now, by the way, I did say that I don't understand people who have issues with words, but veg is one word that if I did have issues with words, it would be veg.
Veg?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's something about that word. I'm not a fan.
When do you even hear that word?
All the time. Actually, in a lot of cooking shows, especially if the chef's British, they use veg all the time.
It's because he's scared of vegetables.
Probably.
I mean, I've used it plentiful in my life, but it's never been about food.
Well,
it's more been in my your stoner days around, just hanging out, vegging out.
All right, so let's start.
Are you okay with vegging?
Yeah, I'm pro at vegging. I'm a pro
just
at
the
vegging.
word veg. So it's a vegetable thing.
Maybe, I don't know. It's a weird word. I mean,
maybe it's too close to vag, and that's what you're not comfortable.
You know, I don't know.
Do you like the vag?
Well, of course, I'm very distracted by the vag, just as you are distracted by the D. Anyway,
well played.
We will start with initial thoughts. Victor, what did you think of this episode?
I felt very comfortable.
Oh man, it's going to be one of those, is it?
And I was delighted. I was delighted at the end of this episode. I was very happy and content and just feeling good.
A lot of Glenn in this episode.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not even Glenn. It was just so solid from the very beginning. Matt called it at the beginning. It wasn't just a cold open. It was part of the entire episode. They set the scene and in terms of what we're going to get, and everything was just so tied so well together. The writing was just if there's any episode you're going to pull out that's just not about the alphabet aerobics that they do with the cold opens, just from beginning to end, this episode was just so well written. You can really see the talent, right? You can just really see the genius and the talent in the writing, and it was just fun. Like all the segments were spot on. There was no issues with the Riley and Jonesies. There was no issues with the skids. That was a fun back and forth. Though I'm not sure if Glenn would have liked his Bible being torn apart. That was interesting. And because there was no mention, no mention there.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, they basically they had Wayne get beat up at the end.
You noticed that too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just to show, hey, he's human, and they are tougher. But when you've got friends, like Derry, who's going to come and smash a bottle over his head, it's all good. Sometimes you're going to meet somebody that's a little tougher, but that's why you want to have be in a group of friends and family that look after each other.
Yeah.
It was just solid.
Matt.
Yeah, Victor, you called it, man. Like it was. What I'll say is, was it the funniest episode? No. Did I think it progressed story in any kind of great way? No. But was it? It didn't. I mean, I didn't think it did, but I thought it did a great job with all the characters. I loved Glenn in this one.
Yeah, Glenn was a lot of fun.
That whole thing with the skids, I thought was brilliant. I mean, there was two with that scene, and then the Riley and Jonesy scene. There was one big theme going on there. It was all about perspective, and I really enjoyed that, how they sort of flipping things on their end, see things in a different view, and they really tackled a couple of really big topics in those in a really smart way. So I think you said the writing was really on point. It just was such a fun episode, and then all the pun work that they had throughout the whole thing, that to me brought it all home. Right out of the get go, they hit these words that not everyone, but they're all words that somebody who doesn't like them, and just had a blast with them. I bet you I would love to have been a fly on the wall in that writing room when they went through all those. I would have just been dying, and it was so well done. And I really appreciate this one. This was fun.
Tanya?
You guys are taking away all my notes. Okay, so yeah,
and she's legitimately writing notes throughout the show.
Did you see me?
I'm watching you. She's either she's
I will
doing
not
homework
be
or
made
something.
fun of for not saying enough. So here we go. So I thought the whole conversation that they had with regards to the gay guys was another great example of how Letterkenny really does touch on sensitive subjects and just kind of does it in such a fun way and a great way to just kind of tear down the barriers and make it. It's just so open. It's just
and progressive. Yeah,
I loved that. I'll go to that one at the end. Okay, so you need to add to the list the other words, and then ask our listeners to chime in on it. So the squirt, the claim.
Oh yeah, I've got them all written down. Don't worry. We'll poll every one of them. Sure.
Yeah, we have to poll them, and then go ahead.
You can add comfortable to that list just for fun.
Comfortable, uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I've never found a soul who agrees with me, but
yeah, I'm going to say that's going to have one vote. And that's Matt's. Yeah.
It's just weird to say.
Or if there's one that they should have had in there.
Yeah.
I think the word cunt, that's a terrible word, but I'm not sure they could have used that word.
Yeah.
That is a very uncomfortable word. That's probably
see, but that's only in the West. In the UK,
yeah, they use
that word like it's butter on bread. Yeah.
But the other but Tanya would also say is cunt is more of like in I don't know if you want to call it curse, like it's one of those like bad words, right?
It's a swear
but the words
word,
they're using, it's a stereo. I totally blank that. But all
Matt, we call those swear words.
Thanks, Tanya.
Good job.
I got you back, boy.
But all the words that they're referring to are pretty standard.
Yeah, they're regular
everyday
words. Yeah.
words.
Right,
It's just people don't like them.
Yeah.
Right. You know, that's totally right. Glenn is phenomenal. Glenn is phenomenal. I think he is absolutely awesome. I don't know if he's wearing me down or the character has just morphed into something a little bit more palatable for me. But I just everything he says, I laugh at now.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And I think he's just hands down one of my favorite characters now at this point. I think I just love it. I love him.
Yeah. Hasn't his character grown? Like he's really developed the pastor role, especially this season. It's so good now.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be so icky, and that's the best word to describe him. He was icky. It was just like, ugh. He went to very uncomfortable places, just like Gail did. Gail went to very uncomfortable places, and it was just like you kind of weren't feeling good about watching what the character was doing. But now it's just like he's just pure fun. It's just
He's
really,
come
really
a long way from those bicycle shorts / underwear.
Exactly. Alex and Slash.
Dax. What? Oh,
Axel.
Slash, wasn't it?
No, you're Tanis's guys, right? Yeah, Axe and Slash. Yeah,
I wrote them down. I know.
Axe, not Alex.
Did I say Alex?
I thought you said Splash.
No.
Splash. Slash.
There's no L in Axe.
Okay. Let's reel it in here. Let's reel it in. All right. Your comments on Axe and Slash. Go.
I thought that they only left the pussy because there was a fight that was going to happen and they wanted Wayne on their side.
Absolutely.
That was nothing to do about food.
That's not true. They weren't enjoying the cookout.
They switched sides as soon as the big boys came out of the truck.
I think they were considering switching sides when they were eating chicken that was dry as a fart. But then the degens showing up kind of pushed them over the edge.
All right. Well, that was my note on that. So the chat about...
To be fair. These aren't the most cerebral of characters in the show.
No, yeah.
So maybe there's not that much that goes into their decision making.
Yeah, probably not.
And then I was going to say exactly what Victor was saying about Wayne almost being taken down from that fight. And I'm wondering if that's going to play on Wayne later. But they don't really call back to episodes and then bring it. Like they don't really do any.
But do you remember that one episode? I think it might have been the native flu where Wayne couldn't sleep because when he thought that there was a BFD or BFI, a big fucking Indian that was going to be able to beat him up. And remember, he was like in his clothes in his bed and he could not sleep. And it drove him to go to Tanis to ask her if he actually existed. So yeah, I think if they wanted to explore this story, they could, because you're right. He was losing in that fight.
He was absolutely losing it.
Yeah.
And they really zoomed in on that, on him, like really kind of being taken back and taking a breath and wiping his brow. And if it wasn't for Derry, you kind of have to wonder what was going to happen.
And that degen's been in, like, that's not the first time we've seen Alistair, yada, 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 whatever his name is.
Do it again.
I can't. He's been in other episodes, so he's not a new character, and he has lost fights before. So it was just it was an interesting choice for them to have them show him beating on Wayne. And Derry having to come to his rescue. And I love the low bones he gives Derry when...
Yes, I noticed that. Okay, my last note. I saved the best for last. I was so kind of disappointed that there wasn't a box shot at the end because like it was like noted all throughout the whole thing. And Katie saying you're going to be in trouble, and then Wayne saying I can't do anything about that, and then Tanis saying that she's got it, boo. And then I'm like, and then the girl sat down, and I'm like, where was the box shot?
And I could have sworn, like watching this episode for the first time this week, I was expecting that to happen. I was expecting Tanis to go over and beat up on Shania and Shyla, and it didn't happen. So it must have been a false memory of mine. But you're right. Yeah, there should have been something there. Nothing.
I thought for sure there was going to be something. I was waiting for.
But also, it's okay to not have everything resolved in the same episode.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so maybe it'll happen later. I don't remember whether
they don't really do that, do they?
Sometimes they do. I think they
call back.
Yeah, they'll call. They call back quite a bit actually.
Right.
But in terms of like unresolved issues like that, where
Katie is always up for a box shot. She has done it so many times, and I'm like, okay, what happened?
All right.
Yeah. So there's my notes.
Wow, you had a lot to say there.
There you go. There you go.
I agree with everyone's saying. It's funny watching this episode and thinking back to the Dax and Ron gym scene. It felt like a completely different episode because it felt like it was so long ago. Because the episode is quite dense in terms of like lots of jokes.
Yep.
The word jokes, like the puns and stuff like that. I love that one around the barbecue is like you gonna leave that chicken on there or whatever. Like those are fun.
Yeah.
So lots of it isn't the funniest episode, you're right, but there's like just if last episode was densely packed with jokes, this one was almost as densely packed, maybe not with different jokes, but kind of like always hammering on the same one, but in a fun way. I really, really enjoy like that Dax and Ron scene at the gym. I rank that up there with some of their more important scenes on this show. I think I've mentioned them before, like the one where they're at the sled shack and they're having that the Hicks are having that conversation about gay and racist and stuff like that. That was an important scene, and this one was another very important scene, and it felt like such a kind of an add-on to this whole episode because the whole episode wasn't even about this. It was about the Hicks helping Tanis. I mentioned this before. I really enjoy episodes where all of them are together, so they're not separate storylines. Although here we do have two separate storylines. There's the dollar store showdown, and there's the Hicks helping Tanis out. But with Riley and Jonesy helping the Hicks, so I like seeing the interaction between the different factions. So we're starting to see that a lot more often, and I think that's more interesting than just having the factions on their own with their own storylines. So yeah, I really enjoyed the episode, obviously. So let's go to episode ratings. Victor, what do you rate this episode?
We're going to go 3 for 3, my friend.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Awesome.
It's a fresh. The show has really hit its stride.
Mm-hmm.
It took 4 seasons, but they've hit their stride, and now they're in the big leagues.
We would argue that it only took 3 seasons for them to get there, but okay.
I'm bringing the truth, right? I'm telling you how it actually is. I'm not being a fanboy, and so I'm just giving you that perspective that they've hit their stride.
Mm-hmm.
Like every episode feels like they're in the big leagues now. They're not trying. It's not like they're not in the lab trying things out. Is this going to work, or is that like they know who they are? They know what the show is. The writers are like in their prime right now. It's just this is it. Everything else was just they were getting ready for this season, and that's why I'm so just surprised to hear that there's going to be dips coming in the future seasons, because like bring it on. I can't wait to kind of see that. But right now it's all it's just all good.
Awesome. Matt?
Yeah, it's an easy fresh on this one. Like I said, I think I've always ranked things in different ways. Like if it makes me laugh my ass off start to finish, that's a good way to get me to fresh. If it's not that, it better be smart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one really was. I think you phrased it really well, Al, when you said, the scene in the locker room was important.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about the show. I mean, the show always gets talked about as so inclusive and forward thinking and all that. And it really is. And I love the perspectives they put on things. And I thought that was a great scene. And even the scene with the skids and Pastor Glenn. Yeah, Tanya, I'm with you. Glenn is growing on me more and more as we go into this. But that was a great scene too. Very polar opposite ways of life. And they just flipped them over for a day just to see a couple different perspectives. And I thought this was just a really smart episode, and the wordplay was a blast. So it's absolutely an easy fresh for this one.
And I don't want to argue with you because you've already given it a fresh, but I really do think there was a lot of development in this episode. I think there was quite a bit, like between Riley and Jonesy and Dax and Ron. Oh, between
Moose says, "Hey, watch what you say to my dad."
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I'm so glad Moose was on your lap because I saw you stroking something, but I didn't know he was there.
always be on her mind.
Distracted by the D. Wow.
What is Matt doing?
So here I am trying to make a serious.
There better be a puppy on there.
This is a very important talk Al's
I
giving.
know. All right, never mind. I disagree. I think there was a lot of development in this story.
Oh, God.
So
life throws you a Jeffrey, stroke a furry dog.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, Tanya.
Feeling flush now.
Well, yeah.
So yes, development and story.
Yeah, Tanis' relationship with the Hicks, Riley and Jonesy helping the Hicks. I thought there was quite a bit of development here. Glenn relationship with the Skids development in terms of being, like embracing religion, like that was.
I hear you, but I mean, I still don't think. I mean, it developed moments. I wouldn't say there was any big move forward in the overall story. Like even the thing at the cookout and all that, I don't think that was big a push forward in any story development. It was just a cool experience bringing them all together, uniting them again under this. I thought it was fine. I'm not disagreeing. I just I still loved it. I mean, you're not going to talk me out of it.
No.
I just didn't think it was heavy on story. I just enjoyed the episode.
It's like just when Tanis, for example, she starts off as a villain on this show from season one or two, hated and burnt down the produce stand, and then she turns
Katie
into
even kick her in the box.
Exactly, yeah. She's a recipient of a patented Katie box shot, and then
Katie box shot,
and then she went from that to having a one night stand with Wayne, and to now she comes to the Hicks for help and for protection. I mean, there's a progression there. So anyway, but yeah, you're right. Like you already agreed with it. I just wanted I took an exception to when you
trying
said
to talk yourself out of me giving a fresh.
No, it's definitely a fresh. Okay, Tanya, what do you give this?
I love how you just like really wrap that up real fast and just moving on. Absolutely fresh.
Hey,
yeah, Victor.
Hold on, I haven't said my piece yet.
Oh, really?
Finish off.
Oh, yeah. You're going to surprise us. Exactly what Victor said. He said it perfectly. And I really loved this episode. Really did.
Wow. There's like 2 or 3 reallys in there. All right. Here we go. What word am I not going to say? Fresh.
Wondrous.
What?
Oh, my God.
I am going to say fresh.
Oh, I thought you said you're not going to say.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I regret nothing.
It's absolutely a fresh, and we have our second straight unicorn
in a row.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to look. See, I see the site there. I've added a unicorn section, and this is gonna go right under there under Fuss at the golf course. Yeah, I mean, we've said it all. It's a really solid episode, and I mean, I agree with Victor. They hit their stride. I just think they hit it a lot sooner than this, but whatever. We won't lift a gift Victor in the mouth. There's not much else to say. It's just it's a solid episode. The writers are you're right. They've hit their stride. They know their characters, and all the actors know their characters really well, and so that's showing right now in these stories. So for sure. All right. Favorite top 5s. We start back with Victor. Does this crack your top 5?
I think it might.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just because of the quality that we're getting right now in this season, I think I put in the first 2 episodes into my 5. And unfortunately, as much as I like symmetry, and I have the 3 fusses in my top 5, I'm going to need to knock out one of the old ones out, I guess.
You're unbelievable, Victor. Really? Fart Book is sitting on your number 5. You're not just going to knock Fart Book out, really?
No, he went through this last week. This is on.
You're unbelievable. Okay,
I thought we've been here already.
Where do you want to put it?
Well, I don't have
petty.
the list in front of me, but it's one of the old fusses that we're going to need to knock out.
So you have relationships
Fuss
number
at
1.
The Fart Book is what you're looking for.
Fuss at the Fart Book.
Fuss in the back
as
bush.
much as I love As much as I love this season, episode 3 from season 2 is still very, very special. That's one of those, when you see a minor, you see like a 13-year-old kid in the minors, and he's skating circles around everybody, and it's like one day this kid is going to be something really big. That's what kind of that episode is, and I'm still leaving it on top of the mantle there. So then what's 2, 3, and 4?
2 is fuss in the back bush. 3 is fuss at the golf course. 4 is fuss at the egg hall, and 5 is fucking fart book, Victor.
Right. So we're gonna take fuss at the egg hall, and we're gonna replace it.
You're
we're gonna
so
replace
unbelievable.
it with this.
You're so
You are
unbelievable.
a stubborn man.
Some Georgians are stubborn. It's true, but that's all right.
Oh my God!
I have to be me.
Matt, does this break your top 5?
It's great, but I'm going to go with no. I think at the end of the day, I still want to laugh my ass off because to me it's a comedy.
Sure.
And if it doesn't quite hit that barrier, it can't quite make the list. But it's up there. Like it's one of the top. It's easily a top 10.
Tanya.
I'll knock off the election.
Oh, wow. Look at that. So this is number 5 for Tanya now.
Yeah.
And she's knocking off the election. Fart book continues to be on her list.
I did like the election.
And you liked Fart book too, right?
I did like Fart Book.
Okay.
I'm going to rewatch it. I think I'm going to take Matt's suggestion and rewatch it, but I'm going to do it at the very end.
Let's see now.
So I want to just quickly. I want to throw a flag on the field for a second.
Flag.
So it's a football reference, Matt.
Well played.
Oh gosh.
So Matt, every time we were listening to those jokes about the words, whether it was moist or whatever, you were laughing your ass off.
Yes, you
for
were.
almost every one of those.
I was.
So
Get him,
you
Victor.
telling me
Get
that
him.
you didn't find this episode funny is a complete farce and a fuss.
You weren't listening. I did find it funny. But those moments, there was 5 words that they used through the whole episode, and those scenes go about a minute.
That was a recurring joke, and it was like it happened 5 times, and they did moist twice.
They did do moist twice. I put in my notes.
I'm not disagreeing. I said this was a great episode. This is easily a top 10, no problem. I just found other episodes funny.
All right. I took a grievance with you saying that you didn't find it funny.
I said I didn't laugh my ass off, and I swear to God, I will bump our unicorn off this pedestal if you guys aren't careful. I'm tired of you guys trying to talk me out of a fresh.
Victor, repeat after me. Matt's top 5 is his top 5. All right. This one here, let me look at mine. Relationships, no. I don't know.
It's a unicorn.
I know it's a unicorn, but
get on board.
They're all.
He's gonna do it again.
No, they're all.
You did this last week. You son of a.
My top 5 are all freshes.
You
I agree with
son
Matt.
of a unicorn.
You son of a unicorn.
My top 5 are all freshes, and I agree with Matt. This is a top 10 easily, but it doesn't.
You guys
crack
are a
my
couple
5.
of
We
DJs.
don't have. You know what?
They just don't get us, Al.
They don't get us. No.
Just freaking take
All
the
right.
bull by the horns. Put it on there. Stick it on
I'm
there.
not sticking it on there.
Yeah. You guys have no credibility with your list.
It'll go down in the unicorn list. All right, here we go. Just on to listener comments. There's only one comment here that I could really find, and it's not exactly specific to us, but it is our buddy Jason Dean Cutler saying, the show, the podcasts, the community. It's remarkable how this show has become part of my life. Sincere thanks to you all. Thank you, Jason, for continuing to listen. And, I agree with you. This has been a lot of fun and a great community to be part of. Let's go on to Letterkenny news. The Letterkenny cast must be doing the media rounds to promote season 9 because there's a ton of interviews with different cast members. Too many for me to mention here. But if you'd like to hear from Michelle Milet, Lisa Codrington, Jacob Tierney, Trevor Wilson, Nathan Dales, Dylan Playfair, Andrew Herr, Tyler Johnston, Mark Forward, go to our Twitter profile. We've tweeted all the interviews there that you can go check out. Some of them are video interviews, some of them are print on websites. Check them out. The glaring omission, I haven't seen one yet with Jared Kiso. I know, I've heard that he doesn't like interviewing too much, and once again, like everyone else on that cast. Even his co-creator there, Jacob Tierney, has been in these, and I haven't seen one yet with Kiso. So I guess he's holding strong to that, staying private. Also, Tanis, I haven't seen one with Tio Horn yet, but I'm sure, I feel like that'll be coming soon because she does a lot of like social media stuff, and she's got a podcast of her own actually. So, speaking of Stephen Walker, big thank you to Stephen Walker and the other members of our Twitter DM group, because they've been sharing these articles all week, and I've been tweeting them out. And so, speaking of Stephen, our buddy, he's one of our listeners and supporters, and he started his own podcast. It's called the Guys Review Podcast, and it's for I'm reading from his description: 4 friends, including Stephen, dedicated to reviewing and discussing different media products and experiences while giving each other relentless shit about their opinions. Yeah, it sounds like it should be fun. Steven's a good guy, and he's been a great supporter. So we hope you'll give his podcast a listen. His first episode, I believe, has been released. It's a review of the movie Terminator 2. So, it's got to be a fun one. So, go check out Steven's podcast on Twitter, or you can find on Twitter, Facebook, and wherever else you get podcasts, the Guys Review Podcast. And finally, speaking of Letterkenny cast members doing media rounds, big announcement. We are thrilled to announce that this Monday, we will welcome K. Trevor Wilson to the produce stand. Yes. You know what? I think that deserves this.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Wait.
I regret nothing.
Hopefully not this either.
I was going to say, we sincerely hope Trevor doesn't regret coming on with us. I'm better as Squirrely Dan, and we're really psyched to have Trevor on. I don't know how much time we're going to have with him, but we're going to take as much time as he'll offer. Now, unlike our other podcasts, this won't be published right away. We'll make it available first to our patrons, to thank them for their support. Then we'll publish it on a regular feed, maybe the following week. So that's just to give our patrons a little bit of, a little bit of thank you for supporting us. So if you really need to hear that interview right away, you can do so by becoming a patron. There's a link to our Patreon page on our website and on our Twitter profile. So if you want to listen to that interview on Monday after we record it, probably Monday night. I won't be able to release it right away because it's my son's birthday that day. So we'll have to
that's what we're
celebrate with him. But once he goes to bed, I will come downstairs and I will publish that interview with K. Trevor Wilson.
And can I just add,
Mm-hmm.
you should have been in this house when that all happened, because it was like, okay, we've got to talk. Like, it's his birthday, and he can't do anything for his birthday because we're in more of a lockdown than we were before, and you can't even I can't even organize for his buddies to like do a drive-by in the house and stuff. So anyways, we talked to him, and he was like, oh my God, yeah, you totally have to do that, because he knows what we do. And so we have Owen's support.
We have his blessing. Yes. And one last piece of news, on Sunday, I'm going to be appearing on How Are You Now? With Dean and with Tiara. They invited me on, and so I'm going to be there to help them recap and review I think it's the second or third episode of season 9, Kids with Problems. So I'm looking forward to that, because I'm a fan of their podcast and listen to it. And obviously Dean's been really generous with his time coming on ours. So it's a nice little symbiotic relationship we've got there. So looking forward to that. That's going to be on Sunday. I think he releases his episodes midweek. So look for that. If you're not subscribing to How Are You Now, you really should. It's also a lot of fun. All right. Any final remarks before we sign off, Victor?
Just regarding the show, we already said it now like 10 times. The show hit its stride, and I can't wait for the next episode. I'm just having so much fun with it. And Linda, her interest has been kind of wavering, before this season started. Like season 3 didn't do didn't do well for keeping her interest, but she's still sticking with it, and she's back in. Like, she really enjoyed the last episode, and
awesome.
so yeah, it's good.
Cool. Matt.
I'm excited for Monday. Can I just say that? It's funny. So I've been, obviously I talk about the show with like family and my dad, who I brought up for. If you listen to this, he's hilarious. I don't actually think he's watched a single episode of Letterkenny yet.
But he listens to the podcast.
But apparently he listens to the car because he keeps telling me to stop swearing so fucking much. But,
so fucking much.
But it was funny. So I told him, I messaged him and said, so I just heard we're getting K. Trevor Wilson on the show. And he goes, well, who's that? He was like, I just did some research. I heard one of the actors, their dad and father, or his dad and his grandfather or something, were hockey players. I'm like, oh, you're talking about Dylan Playfair.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, yeah, Dylan Playfair. He's like, oh yeah, him. He's like, when are you getting him? I'm like, no, we're not getting him, Dad. We're getting. So, we had a good laugh though, and but
we
I mean,
need to
he's
have
excited
your dad
for us.
on the show.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
I'm gonna talk about
We
the
need to
lemon
work on
party.
That would be hilarious.
So he would be an interesting one for sure. So my dad was a former RCMP.
Oh, that's
right. He's pretty serious when he wants to. He's also a goofball in life, and he would actually be pretty entertaining.
Do you think he would do a homework for an episode and then come on and then
absolutely
tell us how idiotic we sound for liking the lowbrow?
Is he going to reprimand you for swearing?
He's half across the country, so it's all digital reprimand right now, so it doesn't really have much merit.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Tanya, any final words?
I just thank you again. This has been so much fun and such a great, like, we have no babysitters. We have no one to pass the children on to. And this is kind of that one night, that one outlet, that one release to just kind of let everything in the world kind of go. And I thank everyone. This is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well said.
So, I mean, I echo everyone's sentiments, and I can't wait for Monday as well. Tanya was a little nervous. She's like, what if he's heard all the bad things?
Well, come on. Okay. So Alan and I, Alan and I, we really did do the comedian circuit a lot when we were dating and before, well, actually even before kids. So we've been in the front row. We've been in the second row. Like, there isn't a comedian that hasn't taken us apart, and so I'm
taking you apart. Well,
okay,
actually,
whatever. So, anyways, and I'm like, and we're gonna go head to head. Like, I'm like, really? Like, I'm a little nervous about this. So yeah, Alan's like,
she's like, we've given him bad reviews. I'm like, no, well, we haven't. I haven't. You have. It's like, what if he comes on and like attacks us on our own podcast? I'm like, well, it's our podcast. We don't publish it. I mean, simple as that. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh gosh.
But yeah.
Plus, we've never actually given Squirrely Dan a bad review.
No, we love Squirrely Dan
from day one.
Yeah.
I still like the best
Squirrely fans.
Yeah.
The best Squirrely Dan is, and you know what? I'm going to change one of my votes for Squirrely Dan because it's one of those things that it repeats in my head. The one where he was the Irish.
The leprechaun.
And I think I gave that a bad rating, but I think about that often. Anyways, and him running in the field and saying,
I regret
nothing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, I'm going to play us off here with a song from this episode called "What Do You Want? What Do You Want to Do?" by Louise Burns. And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, we review episode 4, season 4, Letterkenny Talent Show. If you'd like to support the podcast, rate us on iTunes or become a patron. There's a Patreon link on our site or Twitter profile @ProduceStandPod. Thank you for joining us. Now we're going to have a cookout with some bison steaks. On behalf of Matt, Victor, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.